Good to see you.
Okay, welcome back everyone. Giant thank you to everyone for all the continued support, continuing going forward here. We're up to 25 subscribers now. This is crazy, just absolutely crazy. You've all just been just really, really supportive, so I can't thank you enough from the bottom of my heart. So here we are going to be running sort of a very interesting setup, as our weapon will most likely not be used. This is going to be all about our blood veils and charge drains. And we're going to be running Louis this playthrough, as he will benefit us quite a bit with his communal and with charge drains and with backstabs and shots and all kinds of things, since he buffs us to quick mobility, as well as a 50% bonus damage from reckless abandon, as well as 25% from an additional overdrive. You'll notice here that we have 3 items crossed out. However, when we do Vigorous Zeal, it generates these 3 being allowed to be used. So we'll go ahead and rest up here. Thanks, Louis. And I'll show. We'll give a little bit of showing here. And this is the slow version with 1 buff of 7510. This is just gonna, and look, we're normal mobility, so this is just gonna get out of hand. Just kind of want to show you the bottom line here up front. So let's go ahead and activate everything. And we have Rush of Blood. We have all kinds of things here. And the coolest thing about this is that Merciless Reaper works with the Blood Veil to make sure that you, I mean, look at that, 17205. Woohoo! And Merciless Reaper works with the Blood Veil, the Stinger Blood Veils, to continue to ignore enemy armor. Or within 75%, you reduce the damage, or you increase the damage potential. So instead of taking, let's say this guy has a 10% piercing resistance, then it'll go down to 2.5% piercing resistance. So therefore, we would multiply our entire multiplier by 0.975. So therefore, we're getting massive, massive damage increase. So here, if we look at this, we just see what this does. Oh, whoops. So 7510. And if we go back and then we do Merciless Reaper, you'll see that, and if Louis doesn't give us an overdrive, then we'll pop an overdrive ourselves. And because we have a lightning veil on, he's fairly resistant to lightning. However, we do this. Okay, he gave us that. So now it's apples to apples. And now it's 9558. So another 2,000 damage that we get out of that. So yeah, it's significantly reducing his defenses against elemental and against the piercing damage as well. This doesn't count for our actual shots. So as soon as we shoot something, we will be in territory of losing Merciless Reaper. So we're going to go through here kind of quick, and then for the finale with Oliver, we're going to run a Queenslayer, which has a damage cap that I've gotten it to of 29,000 on strike. So it's a little bit over the top, but that's okay, because that's what you need to be able to get through here. So, as you saw with the Argent King, it was just a mess. And there we go. And now we're still only normal. Okay. And this is kind of a very different kind of a way to play, because you are constantly just, trying to backstab. But we can use Louis' Communal to great effect now, since we're quick. We can dodge away, and when our stamina comes back, which is why we have this regen stamina regenerator, and we can hit this guy from a distance. And see, before his, that was 18,000 damage. Oh, Louis. Louis, stop. So that's why we have concentration active as well, is that we definitely want to be able to reduce our stamina consumption as much as possible. Now this is going to be tricky. What? I missed? Okay. So there we used Merciless Reaper because we got into a corner and we took one hit and we almost died. However, I mean, that's the risk and reward built into this. We gotta get the gifts. Always need to get the gifts. So let's get Merciless Reaper, Overdrive, while we can. And we can strike at a distance. That's the really great thing. And we're always recovering Ichor as well. So we can go for a movement enhancer. We'll go ahead and heal. Oh, see, now here's the thing. You can't use a drain when you stand on something that you can pick up. It's the weirdest kind of a thing, but it just can't be done for whatever reason. So a little bit about this. So Swift Destruction, we all know, is a 10% on normal movement and buff up and a 20% on quick. And Heroic Fang is a 30% damage increase to the value listed from the base before you start adding any modifiers. So it's kind of a strange kind of a passive gift, but it's exceptionally potent. Just to give you a straight up flat 30% damage increase on your charge drains, which is why we're trying to get as many charge attacks as we possibly can, since that's where the bulk of our damage is coming from. Okay, let's get this and this. Now, Rush of Blood, and what's Ichor Regeneration? These are, again, they reduce your gift scaling. So you see here we have light and dark at, horrendous numbers, and we have no scaling whatsoever. However, the reality is that because none of our gifts scale off of light and dark, since it's all off of charge drain attack ability, they don't affect us in any way to reduce our effectiveness on a charge drain. So that's really helpful for us. Okay, let's get a charge booster. Get this, and we'll go for this. And now we'll see how we do here against the big boy. Oof. Okay, so we took a hit pretty hard there, which is okay. Yeah. Now you'll see here we don't have Merciless Reaper active, but we can still one-shot these guys, which is great. We'll get the regeneration going here. Make this guy come around the corner here. Whoop. Oh, Louis. So again, it does have extreme limitations, as very apparent that oh boy, where's everybody going? They're going around that way. But the reality is when you're doing things like this, and if you line them up and they go into a line, you can actually get many enemies in one strike. So it's kind of a very interesting, different, completely confusing way to use your Blood Veil. And here, and they don't suspect the thing. And because we're always regenning Ichor, we can... okay, let's get a backstab. No, don't you turn around. Okay. Now, again, this is the easiest area in the game, so don't look at this and run out and sell everything and buy buy your blood veils and and go forward from here. But it is a very, very different approach to how your veils can be used, and how, you know, a kind of different way that they could be used. There we go. Let's go ahead and get this up with Louis. And we'll go ahead and use this and a charge, and we'll do this, and we'll do this. And see there how fast these charges can get off if Louis would stop killing everyone. Okay. Now here, I don't think we can reach that guy. Nope. There we go. Get iCore regeneration going. We'll let a little bit of this recharge here. Get this going. We'll go for invisibility. So this is where your items can come in really helpful. No, come on. Get this. Oh, he's gonna run away. Okay. Ooh. Thanks, Louis. Got him. So that's the kind of other cool thing, is that you can stand here and you can kill people through walls. That's kind of a neat side effect from being able to have sort of range, while at the same time having a very quick startup on the veil. So the Stinger veils have a fairly short response time as compared to something like the spine veils, the ivy veils, because you don't have to put it in the ground and then move it around and get it just right.
Could that really be?
And the ivy veils have less damage than the Stinger veils do, or at least this one. So that's why we're kind of going with this one for now.
Could you fill me in on the details later?
Sure, Louis. We'll fill you in on the details later.
How far from the surface now?
So this is interesting because you can do this with any of the veils, and it's really cool that Merciless Reaper works the way it does with the ivy veils.
That's a solid start.
And then we have
Dodge.
I don't know if we can. Yeah, we can't shoot up there. We can't do that either. Okay. And we'll just kill that guy. And it's pretty interesting that
Exceeded my expectations.
all the veils have different amounts of charge drain attack values, but if you pair them with these items here, these passives, now Rush of Blood can be switched up to be something else if you want it to be something different. Let's say you want to go for on charge attacks, you get health back or different things. So there's different things you can do there. We can't get that guy, so let's go for this and this and this and this. Okay. I mean, look how fast that charge comes out. That's crazy fast. And then in the event, whoa. In the event that we get ourselves into serious trouble, we have Radiant Barrel on deck in order to give ourselves a long distance charge shot. So that's really good. We'll go ahead and do this. We'll wait for this guy. Oh. Louis is just gonna wreck face there. Oh, so this is the problem with. Oh, you can't use a charge drain when you're standing on something. It's such a weird,
Pick up something we can use.
buggy artifact type of an interaction between the items. It's like, oh, you're standing on something that you want to pick up. You can't use a charge drain. Oh, okay, well, that's unfortunate. But whatever. Okay, now we're coming up to Oliver here. So we're going to go ahead and switch to Queenslayer. And switch to the Fullman Blade since this has 100 block. So this is what we're going to be running here. And probably shouldn't be running Radiant Barrel because we have, what is that? So we'll go for this, and let's see. We will go for this to be this, and we'll do this, and this, and this, and this, and let's see. This, and 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 so we'll get considerable charge drain off of this here. It'll be pretty exciting. Okay, and let's go for strength and dex up. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, we're running out of time here. Okay, and get a charge booster going.
Good. It's light for this.
Oh, we are running out of time crunch. And we're running out of everything else because of cutscenes. Cutscenes are the worst. They just drain your gifts and your items and everything. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We gotta get through this. I gotta go. 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 Okay. There's half his health. Okay. And one more. Okay, now he takes less damage. Now he's dead in 3 charge attacks. Oh man, it's just absolutely bonkers when you pair it with Final Journey. So when I was testing on the first guy there, we were getting up to 29,088 damage when all the buffs are paired. So we have Reckless Abandon, which is a 50% buff. We have Dex Up, or Strength and Dex Up from Somatic Zeal, which gives us a 3%. Every Dex that you add to your character is a 3% increase. Final Journey is a 50% increase. We have 2 stacks of Overdrive, which is a 25 squared increase, so 25% and 25%. Merciless Reaper, again, it allows us to avoid and ignore most 75% of his armor or his defense of every kind, and since he's weak to pierce and lightning, which is exactly what our Veil was, we just destroyed him. Then we had Heroic Fang, which was another 30% up, and Swift Destruction, which gave us another 20% up. So let's see here, so 1.5 times 1.03 times 1.5 times 1.25 squared.
How was that?
That was memories, times 1.3 times 1.2. So it's a 5.6564 increase on the drain rating. So that's your multiplier for that time, plus the reduction of the enemy's armor or their damage resistance. So it's a pretty potent build. Well, not really a build. It's more of a technique that you just have to kind of get used to, and you have to kind of feel it when the time is right to go ahead and use the charge drain and get those damage, get those long range shots off, because it's not immediately intuitive when you can and cannot do that. So we're gonna go rest. We're gonna sleep. So the charge drain multiplier, it has a the number that you want to look at is when you look at what your Veil is listing, not when it's got the bonus damage on it, but when it's listed just base 1354. You take that number and you multiply it by 2.752, and that gives you the damage output of the charge drain. So 2.752 is your damage multiplier for charge drains. So anything that changes that damage multiplier, so you take your 1352, was it, and multiply by 2.752 times the 5.65 5 or whatever that we had from before. So then that will bring us up to our total value. So let's see here, times 2.752 times 1352 or whatever it was. So around 21,000 is, but then plus the bonus damage from lightning damage, which is which is a different multiplier than just the 20% straight up, because it's interacting with Merciless Reaper as well. Okay, so we've got all these, and we'll continue on to the parking deck. These are going to be kind of shorter, different episodes, since the fact is that I got to get you guys through the weekend here with something. So got to drink some water first. So yeah, charge drains. I think in the next section we'll go for maybe, I don't know. It's kind of different when you play at the distance with the spine veils because of the charge distance. However, it's yeah, okay. So Queenslayer could be Queenslayer can be a great adventuring build as well. Just don't use Final Journey until the the bosses. Now the butterfly, since she's weak to slash and fire, and we just so happen to have 2 sets of veils that are slash veils, and we have a fire veil.
Make sure you're good and ready.
We have a fire veil, and we have a fire veil, and we have everything else that we can do with fire. So we should be pretty set to run her with a slash build, a slash fire. Now that's going to be very interesting because you're going to have to charge, get the attack off, and then dodge, and then get the attack off, and then dodge, and then get the attack off and dodge. So something like that might be beneficial to have something like Regenerative Drain running. However, you just don't have the distance that the Stinger Veils do, as compared to like a Claw Veil or Hound's Veil. Now you could go for like an Ivy Veil, but again, you're going to have the problem of being stationary, trying to move that black dot around instead of just being close, charge up, and then attack, and then continue on from there. Now it's very different being able to run a Claw Veil versus a Hound's Veil, since the Hounds have the double swipe and the Claws have the single swipe. So you'll definitely be more interested doing damage from these guys as compared to these guys. However, the scaling is different, so that's all got to be taken into consideration and everything. So, and backstabs work completely different than what we've shown here, kind of with the different buffs that we're getting out of these different gifts. So yeah, Merciless Reaper, it works exceptionally well with Stinger Veils, but then if you switch to a Claw Veil, if you strike an enemy, I don't believe that any Veil attack counts to the game as if it was a actual attack with a weapon. So if I swing my weapon, Merciless Reaper goes away. So that's how you want to make sure that you're playing when you're doing charge drains. Go ahead and get Merciless Reaper. Unfortunately, it does not work with Flashing Fang or Blow of Madness. Otherwise, you would just be able to basically run around, charge drain, and one-shot everything. So Overdrive is a charge drain modifier. Offensive Order is a charge drain modifier. Bridge to Glory is not, and Adrenaline is not, and neither is Ranged Impact. So the only 2 that modify your charge drain attack is these 2 here, Overdrive and Offensive Order. Another reason why we're picking Louis, since he helps us get another stack of Overdrive. Like I said, Dex, anytime you can add Dex to your person, you'll notice that it adds a little bit down here, but it's actually a 3% overall damage increase to the charge drain number. So keep that in mind. Okay, so thank you everyone for coming along, and we'll hopefully get you through the weekend here, even while I'm at work. So thank you all for coming, and we'll catch you next time.